I will survive, I will survive. And I'm a firm believer. We'll forever shine, just to stay alive. Not simple means it. Nobody can hold me man. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can tell me sick. I will not allow negativity. Nobody can hold me man. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can. Everybody show me some strength. No weakness, show me where I'm from. Strength, no weakness, show them who we are. Strength, no weakness, show me where I'm from. Everybody strength, no weakness, show them who we are. Not when you're old. Your enemies, they must tremble. Your enemies, they must tremble. Yo, not when you're old. Everything has to humble. Everything has to humble. I'm a go-getter. I just go hard. And I'm a kind of fella.
Hi guys, and welcome to Ridelaong Live for today. I'm tweaking. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I'm broadcasting from a brand new location today. I am in lovely Jamaica. I was just showing you guys a little view of where I'm at right now. Hope you guys saw that. The sun is very, 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 very hot. Yeah, the sun is very hot, and that's causing my video to pixelate a little bit. But they say what? You can't stop the show. Can't stop the show. Alright? So as you're coming, go ahead and share the program and let's get this show on the road. It's Ridelaong for today, Wednesday, and I'm coming to you again live from beautiful Jamaica. Big up all everyone that's watching that's in Jamaica, anyway close. I'm making a big hangout later. Making a little barbecue in the backyard later. Some jerk chicken and thing. Alright? So if you're in the area and thing, you wanna come and but you have to be fully vaccinated though, because we don't play that here, right? Yeah. Once you're in the area and you're fully vaccinated, you're good to go. How you guys doing? Jillian, how you doing? Pick up yourself. Thank you so much. Sharon Rush, how you doing? Thank you so much. Guys, come in and share the program as I'm going to do it right now, because today we have a very interesting conversation. Guys. Today we're going to be talking with Mr. Jimmy Bristol, who is the former AG and is also a member of TGM, right? The reason why we wanted to talk to a member from TGM today, because if you guys have been following the news, you would have heard that TGM has just started the transitional process of becoming a political organization. Initially, they started as a pressure group. We had Dr. Patrick Antoine. You guys remember the interview with Dr. Patrick Antoine, where he, it was the launch of the party. So he spoke to us in detail about the pressure group and what the pressure group is going to be doing. And I pressed him on that, and I said, Dr. Antoine, this look like a political party. Tell me, is this the start of a political party? And he kind of didn't really answer the question a bit. He wanted to push the narrative, and he went around and pushing the narrative that this is a pressure group organization, and that is what it is. But as I said earlier, just a couple days ago, TGM had a press conference where they announced that they are going to be transitioning, right? Which means that come next general election, Grenada would have another option. Now, some would say the third option, but it seems like it's more than three, because we have LP, who is also coming up. We saw that GLP is going to be also a political organization. So people will have probably 4 or 5 different options. TGM would be one of the option. Now, there has been a lot of criticism waged against TGM move. A lot of people are saying, well, why didn't you just start as a political party to begin with? All of that we go ask Mr. Bristol, right? Also, people are saying, well, are you viable? Are you ready for prime time? Is TGM ready for prime time? People are asking those questions. And all of those questions we're going to pose to Mr. Bristol. The other thing that a lot of people are asking is that, what does that mean for the next election, right? Let me stop the music there a little bit. Let me stop the music there a little bit, guys. Yeah. Okay. Right. Sorry again, guys. The sun is hot, and the cameras, everything is under some tremendous heat, so it's kind of lagging a bit, right? Yeah. So people are also saying that Dr. Patrick Antoine, is he a leader that could galvanize the support, and what does that mean that he would take away vote from NDC? Possibly, that would most definitely give a victory to the NNP. All of these things are being asked, and so we don't have the answers. So we decided to bring on Mr. Jimmy Bristol, who is going to be chatting with us. So this and a whole lot more we're going to be talking about as I broadcast live on my vacation from lovely Montego Bay, Jamaica, where the sun is hot and the pool is ready, and I'm seeing people already in the pool, and I'm here. But I guarantee you guys, as soon as I get off the program, I will be jumping in the pool. I'll be in there, and for the rest of the vacation, in fact, I'll be right there. Okay. All right. So let's bring on the man himself. Let me mute this audio right here. As we again, this is a ad hoc studio here in Montego Bay. Mr. Jimmy Bristol, how are you doing, sir?
Fine, thanks. Fine. I wish I was up there with you. I haven't left
Oh,
Grenada in a year and a half.
Were you in Grenada?
Yeah, I haven't left. I've been locked down I've been here since the 10th of January last year. Then the lockdown came, and that's it.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I've been through it. I've been through the COVID thing. I had COVID myself, and after all of this, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna do everything. No longer I'm gonna be sitting by and waiting and worrying about what's happening in the world. I'm just gonna go ahead and do everything that I need to do. So last 2 months ago, I was vacationing in Aruba. Today I'm in Jamaica. After here, I might jump into Grenada, and I just want to go everywhere because life is too short to just sit there and not have a vacation. That's
You're
what I see.
right.
You
You're
know?
right. I'm gonna take a leaf out of your book. I'm out of here tomorrow.
Yeah. Jump on a plane, man. Jump on a plane. Have to see. It's a big wow. Yeah. So again, Mr. Bristol, thank you again for joining us. We have a lot of questions. We have a whole lot of questions for you today.
I'll try my best to
Because
answer them.
yes. Let's start with the TGM transition into a political organization, right? A lot of people are saying that TGM transitioning, but TGM could have just come in from the beginning, from the giddy up, and say, well, they're a political organization. Why they had to go through all of this and then announce this? Like, if people didn't know what they happening already, why now?
Well, my understanding is because I wasn't part of it when it was first set up. I only know I came involved in the last couple of weeks when I understood that it was being transitioned into a political party. So, but my understanding is the reason for that is the people out there were asking for it and saying, look, you're better able to serve the country if you become a political party and get involved in true transformation of the country from the top. One is more effective if one is in charge, and I think that's the motivation, and that's quite right. Most pressure groups really in Grenada do not exert sufficient pressure to cause meaningful change.
Yeah. You there?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, right. Yeah. I didn't hear the last thing that you said. I just had
As I'm saying that pressure groups in Grenada never really exert sufficient pressure as to cause meaningful change. So change is better effected if one is actually in charge. And
right. So
control.
wasn't that the knowledge going in when it was set up as a pressure group?
Well, as I said, I don't know because I wasn't part of the setup of the NGO. I only just came in the last couple of weeks when I learned it was transitioning to a political party.
Good. So let me ask you this then. I know you, Jimmy Bristol. I mean, you were the AG on the NDC, but you're not a
Correct.
politician, though. You're not a politician. You
No.
don't speak as a politician. You're too honest to be a politician. I say when I speak to you, I like your point of views because you're so unbiased with your thoughts. Why TGM? Why did you decide to move with TGM? What's the appeal?
Well, let's start at the beginning. I was aware when TGM set up as an NGO, and I heard about the transition to the party status a couple of weeks or so ago. What what galvanized me into action is that I was really very tired and despondent and unhappy in my country. So much so that I wanted to leave. And every door was shut. So I knew that I couldn't leave. I really wanted to leave. I wanted to leave for years now. No, and I was unhappy with that thought because it's not good to run from things and assume that the grass is greener on the other side. Because my belief is that the grass is greener where you water it.
Right.
And
True.
I wish I had an opportunity to water the grass here. I've been trying to water the grass in Grenada for years. I tried as AG. I tried through my practice. I help people and so forth. So this things in Grenada got so bad in the last few months. You know, the teacher strikes, the show of force through the police and the SSU to control teachers. I thought it was heavy-handed and a misuse of power. The police are supposed to be independent under the Constitution from the executive. The police brutality, shooting people, is something unheard of since I was a kid, and the whole difficulty in running business here, the victimization that people see because they're not of a particular political color, it's all coming together, and people, you know, it was just too much. And I just thought, you know what, at my age, the best I can do right now that will make me feel that I'm using my God-given talents is to see if these guys will have me on board and see if I can make a change utilizing, you know, my skill set to assist. And that's what I want to do. And, you know, in making the decision, I felt so at ease. It was not something I had to think about for hours. I made it in a moment. And when decisions are made like that, I think they're the best decisions. And I believe it's a guided decision. And I'm very happy with it. So I'm happy to try, and I will try for the country. And that means I'll try for the people. And hopefully I'll succeed.
Yeah, yeah. What do you say to people that say a vote for TGM is essentially a vote to keep NNP back in power?
No, I wouldn't think so, because the there are a lot of NNP supporters who are dissatisfied and disillusioned. And there are many NDC supporters who are dissatisfied and disillusioned. So if one's message, the sincerity of one's message is understood and and received, then I think TGM could pull from both areas of support, the NNP and NDC. But it's always, you know, when you have three parties and four, and Gulp is back in vying for elections, of course the vote is going to be split. But isn't it better to try? Because, you know, with 15 seats in the last two consecutive elections, that's not good for the country. And you got to try and rescue the country so that we have a true beneficial governance
Yeah.
rather than what we're seeing right now.
Do you think, again, guys, if you just join us, we're speaking here with Mr. Jimmy Bristol, the former AG in the NDC administration. And I'm not in the car today. I am here. I'm in Jamaica. getting ready to go and enjoy some jerk chicken and stuff like that. But this is necessary. We have to have this conversation. I want you guys to comment on this as well when we open up the phone lines. Um, Mr. What about people who say that? Um, what's your thoughts? Is this a TGM coming in? Is that, do you think it's a referendum on the strength on the NNP and trying to diminish the support, or the weakness of the NDC because they fail to present themselves as a steady opposition party?
I think it is both, because in my view, the current administration does not and has not offered any true, meaningful, caring governance with the interests of the people at heart in the last 2 terms, and certainly ever, in my view. The NDC is lacking direction, and that's unfortunate for the country, because it's that lack of direction in 2007, when they won the last time, that has really put us where we are. And the reason why they've lost so badly in the last 2 polls is because they lack direction and they lack leadership. So if the TGM philosophy, which is very simple, is such as to capture the Grenadian people, then I see no reason why TGM couldn't be successful. But that's always being very, very truthful, that a split vote is always difficult. But certainly it's better to try. We may end up with a coalition, but it's certainly better to try, because 15-0 is not good. And there'll be another 15-0 and another 15-0.
Yeah, and some people say that that might just ensure that there is another 15-0 because of.
All right. So if we say and do nothing, and
Yeah.
the NDC has fallen apart, it's got no leadership, we'll get a 15-0. Because they can't pull it off, not the way they're running. So what, do we sit back and accept another 15-0? It is inevitable.
Okay. All
That's
right.
my
So you are.
view anyway.
Okay, all right. Guys, again, we're going to open up the phone lines. We're talking here with Mr. Jimmy Bristol on the new transition of the TGM, now a political organization. And we asked the question earlier on the post, is TGM ready for prime time? Mr. Bristol, who have even said to me and privately and publicly that he's not a politician. He's a straightforward thinking person. He never got into politics before, but he decided to put his hat in with TGM. What strength do you bring to the party, Mr. Bristol?
Well, I hope I have an understanding, and I have a fundamental character trait of doing what is right and justice. That's why I became a lawyer, and I bring the strengths of the understanding of what is right, how the legal system operates or should operate, and what we should do in terms of proper governance, in terms of how we treat people and relate to people. And fairness, to me, is at the core of any organization, and more so in government, where so many lives are being affected. So fair treatment through respect for the Constitution and its principles, irrespective of whom you are, you'll be treated equally. I think that is my ethos. That's how I operate. And
Right.
that is without any prejudice based on any form or nature whatsoever, whether it's a supporter of another party, or whether it's on, whether you're Grenadian or non-Grenadian, whether you're black, white, or blue. It's just how it's supposed to be. Otherwise, we're starting off on the wrong foot, and the country has been on the wrong foot because these things are not in place. And that's the fundamental reason why Grenada has never progressed, because the way people are treated is not at the forefront. Fairness of treatment, justice, righteousness is not at the forefront of governance in Grenada.
Right. What is the what is the new vision, right, that TGM brings to the table? We have a new party. Um, what's the new vision?
The vision is inclusivity. It is it is this is something that's alien to us since before independence. Now, a lot of people don't know what happened before independence, but we went into associated statehood when the British allowed us to govern ourselves internally and they looked after defense. But Eric Gary was in charge and he led us in, so-called led us into independence, which was a big myth because the elections were rigged. We were on lockdown, we had riots, we had strikes, we had everything. But those days, the British wanted to get rid of us. So they sent a low-level person from the Foreign Office, and they came down here and said, yes, the Grenadians really want so-called independence under the Eric Matthew Gary government. And they got rid of us. And the rest is history. We then, the dictatorship got worse because it was a total disregard for human rights and any voice in opposition, which is our right. It's our right to belong to political parties, our right to belong to associations and groups, and to voice our opinions and have freedom of speech. And then we had the revolution followed as a result, and it succeeded in terms of taking place because things were so bad. But then the revolution demised and went the wrong way because they themselves didn't recognize and didn't give effect to people's rights and freedoms. And I would think that apart from the interim government and the NDC under Sir Nicholas Brathwaite, that we've seen a proper consideration for the views, desires, wants, aspirations of the people of Grenada. And the people of Grenada, including the people who live here, were not Grenadians because they become part and parcel of the community and are entitled to the same treatment as Grenadians are within the ambit of the Constitution. So what I see as important is to imbue confidence and a sense of hope in the people is an adherence to the Constitution and all our laws with equality of treatment and application of those laws to everyone. That's the first thing. The second thing is in governing, you have to, and this is basic, and this is the core of TGM's approach, is to listen, to have an open door, to actually and truthfully take into account the views, desires, wants, and aspirations and concerns of people. To bring back local government so that you have the government on the ground, so to speak, for the people and by the people, so the pulse of the people is felt. That's very important because people vote in elections and never see their representative except one day a week when they come to the office and everybody queues up to get a handout. That's not governing. Governing is creating a sense of hope through security in jobs, security in education, security in safety, security in health. This is what gives us hope. And the unfortunate thing is our confidence has been destroyed because we've been let down for over 40 years. And we've got to bring that back by saying we are listening and we will listen to you truthfully. Hold my hand and I will hold your hand and be doing it together. That's what it's all about.
I think we got a call coming in. Let me see if I could pull that call in on the live here. Pull you in. Call you live. Wait. Oh, hold on. Yeah, caller. Go right. Caller. Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up. Call right back. I'll pull you into the system audio. Okay, call right back. The same number. Okay. All right. Again, guys, 718-701-5720. We're talking here with Mr. Attorney Jimmy Bristol, who just became a member of the newly transitioning TGM. We're speaking about everything TGM, everything politics going forward. Let's see if I could bring in this call here into the system as I broadcast live from my ad hoc studio here in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Caller, you live. Caller, you hearing me? Hello? Hello? Hello, caller, you hearing me? Let me see if I could fix that audio situation right here. Hold on, caller. 1 second. I think I see what my audio problem is. As again, guys, stand by 1 second. Let me fix that audio problem here. Call on the line, stand by. I see what my audio issue is. Let me go ahead and fix it. Again, guys, 718-701-5720. Okay, that caller just hung up. Hopefully now. Okay, let me take a quick break, Mr. Bristol. And we'll be you're watching Ride Along live from again my ad hoc studio here in Montego Bay, Jamaica. I'll be here for a couple of days, so I'll get better as we go forward. I promise you. We'll be right back. Don't move.
Welcome to TD Bank, where you'll find the personalized attention you deserve and the legendary experience you expect. Let's do business. If you are a medical or dental practitioner, contact me to hear about our tailored lending solutions for residential mortgages, equipment purchases, practice-related commercial mortgages and refinance. Visit me at 500 Baychester Avenue to hear more about our full range of personal and small business banking solutions. See you soon.
Hi guys, we're back. Sorry about that. We had this telephone line problem, but I think we just resolved it. So the caller who just called in earlier, we didn't hear you. I know you were speaking, but we didn't hear you. Call us back, 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. I want you guys to put your voice on this discussion right here. If you have something to say, we encourage you to call in and let's discuss it. Again, 718-701-5720. Let me take this call right here. Caller, where are you calling us from?
Yeah.
Caller, go right ahead.
Okay, question for Mr. Bristol. Mr. Bristol, it's good to see you trying to put yourself up to serve and so on. That's good, not a problem there. But you were criticizing politicians and the behavior on their conduct. You lost your job as Attorney General because of your behavior and your conduct in trying to appeal to a judge. You use government resources to appeal to a judge in the interest of your son in an American jurisdiction. I mean, are you saying that you learned from this? Are you admitting that you made a mistake as a person who's seeking public office? Are you conceding that you made a mistake, you learned from it, and you're ready to serve?
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah. Well, let's answer start with the first point. Criticizing politicians. I never criticized on the show. I'm saying on the show that we haven't had the leadership, we haven't had the type of governance that the country requires, and that people deserve since independence, except from a short stint when we had this Nicholas Brathwaite led government in charge under the NDC. And that's my view. But that's not criticizing anybody and attacking anybody's character. In fact, far from that, the ethos of the TGM and mine, in fact, I've never been known, and no one can find a tape anywhere or comment anywhere where I attack people's character. That is not what it's about. That is gutter politics. We're not here for that. We're here to offer a new leadership, right, based on principles of equality, fairness, fair treatment, justice, and doing what is right and observance of the law. That is what it's about. It's not about tearing people down. That's not what it's about. If you want to drag up everyone's past, well, let's start dragging it up, and we'll have a nice conversation another time about that.
Okay. All right. All right. If you want to pose a question here, you could call in live 718-701-5720. I mean, you could ask your question. We don't have a problem with anyone asking the question, but we just urge that everyone be respectful in the process of that. You could have major disagreement with anyone on the panel, myself, but do it respectful. That's all we ask of you. All right. 718-701-5720. That's my number. 718-701-5720. You could call in to talk. Mr. Bristol, I had a question. Oh yes, someone wanted to find out, right? Where do you see? Well, let me take this call coming in before I ask my question. Caller live. Where are you calling us from?
Hello, Junior. I'm calling from Greens.
Go right ahead, caller.
Grenada. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Bristol. It's a democratic, and everybody have a right to go where they want, to choose what party they want. But I would like to hear more of the strategy, your strategy, what you're going to do for the youth, what you're going to do for pension. I've been wrong a little while, and I'm tired of other people just bringing down each other, bringing down kids, bringing down NDC, bringing down this one, bringing down that one. We need to hear more of the plans that the political party have for Grenada going forward. Thank you.
All right, caller. All right.
Yes. The first thing is this. There will be the respect for the Constitution. Okay? And that means, one, that civil servants, let's deal with the civil servants, will be employed as civil servants and by the Public Service Commission, and not as contract workers who could be fired any day at the whim and fancy of a permanent secretary and not get a pension. Secondly, the pensions, which I'm fighting right now for the public workers, this is actually before the court. If that is not resolved, then in favor of them, that would be recognized, because that's a constitutional right, and given full effect, because it's wrong. If the law has to be changed, change the law. But while the law in its current form exists, then effect has to be given to it. And a lot of people are suffering because they're not getting their pensions, and they're retired and they can't even put food on the table. I know that as a fact. So those are the two things. Immediately, the court system, of which I'm part, has to be respected for its independence and has to be maintained in an efficient manner so that people can get their cases heard at a reasonable price and speedily, so that there's actual justice. What is happening right now is people don't want to go to court because you don't know when your case is going to be heard, so you don't get justice, you don't get your disputes resolved, so people rather not go to court, myself included. So those are important matters. Then you have education. We have to ensure that we have proper schools. I was watching a news item about a school in Florida where it's uncertain if it will reopen because of bad conditions. You can't have that sort of thing. We have to have schools, and we have to have the children going to school with shoes and with properly clothed and having the right access to the right books. This is really important. And also, you need job security. You need to have a certain standard of living financially, wherewithal to have a certain standard of living to provide for your families. And we have to try to create that environment so that this can take place. So it's not an overnight solution, but I can say this. There are several things that could be done almost immediately to reverse the trend that we see. And those are some of the things I've just spoken about. And it's through consultation, through open door policy, and listening to people and being genuine with them and truthful. and expecting the same back, because it's not a one-way street. We all have to work together, and I think it can work, because that approach has not been used before now, and I think it's about time that we take that approach of inclusiveness and properly listening and giving effect to people's concerns.
Okay. Again, 718-701-5720 is my is my number. I'm not in the SUV today. Mr. Bristol, the question I wanted to ask that someone posed to me earlier today, they were saying that, okay, let's look at the construct right now of the political landscape in Grenada. We have various areas where NDC might have a stronghold, NNP might have a stronghold. From the landscape that exists right now, where do you see where is the projection, or where is TGM looking to inject some of their or pull votes or supporters? Because Carriacou is going to be tough, as they're saying. St. Patrick might be tough, as they're saying. What is the plan, and how are you looking to galvanize support from the people in those areas?
Well, it's a bit early to come up with the overall plan, because the party has actually been established yet, and the structures put in place, and with all the personnel. But I would like to think that, given the dissatisfaction many Grenadians are expressing across the board, irrespective of political color, that they want a change. And the reason there hasn't been a change is because there hasn't been anyone to whom they could turn. And hopefully TGM could be that safety valve now, which can be opened up to give everyone a chance. So I think the support would come from all colors of the political spectrum.
Do you have like a idea? Does the party have an idea that you wish to speak on now? As the where? Because a lot of people not seeing it.
Well, it's as I said, it's just starting.
Right.
We still sorting out the constitution. The actual launch it's a transition as a political party has yet to take place. So that those plans and in effect what will be a manifesto, if we could put it that way, although it's not an election time, will be formulated and will be put forward. The personnel of the party will be revealed and decided and revealed and that sort of thing. But right now, it's not at that stage. Right now, we're saying this is what we stand for, and this is why TGM is transitioning to a political party, because we think that Grenada really does need it.
Okay. Let's take another call on the line. Caller, where are you calling us from?
Calling from Grenada.
Go right ahead, caller.
What is TGM's position on proportional representation, given the fact that in the last election, 46% of the voters voted for NDC, yet they got no representation in Parliament at all? Would the TGM consider proportional representation as a change in our constitution, so that those sort of big majorities couldn't occur in the future? Thank you.
Yeah, I think proportional representation has merit. And in fact, I've said before, when the last two referenda were held, that it's something to be considered in a true constitutional reform. And I think we do need true constitutional reform, not the piecemeal efforts that were made on the last two occasions. And it's something that we need seriously to look at. Yes, I'm a proponent of proportional representation for that very reason, because it appears to me to a much fairer system, because you get representation based on not on seats, but on the numbers who voted. So I think, yes, caller, that is something that I'd like to see, and I'm sure the party would like to see that as well.
Got another call on the line. Caller, where are you calling us from?
Calling from Brooklyn. Afternoon, Mr. Bristol.
Afternoon, sir.
Bristol, if you're working on the sea or you're rearing animals, will you join a weak and a strong rope, or will you join two strong ropes? I'm asking that in the context of Grenada's politics.
why would any political party that got 20,000 votes in an election choose to join with others who never ran, or those who have not received a substantial amount in numbers of doesn't make sense. People need to
Caller, you're kind of breaking up a little bit. You're kind of breaking up a little bit. I didn't hear the last thing that you said. If you could just repeat yourself.
I said we need to be realistic. Political parties have different philosophies. The philosophies clash later on. So joining parties together hardly ever work. So people need to be very realistic.
Okay. All right. All right. You can respond to that.
Well, if I understood it, if he's saying that we're joining up, we're not joining up. The reason why it's a new party is because we're not joining up, and we want to create a new thrust, a new approach to governance. That is why it's a new party.
Right. I think. Okay. Let's take this call here. We'll come back to it. Caller, you live?
Hi. Junior, this is Janice.
Hey, Janice.
Good evening to you and good evening to
How are you doing, Janice?
your viewers, and I am okay. Good evening to your listeners and your viewers. Um, I was looking at the comments, listening to the program, looking at the comments, and I have seen some of the most ludicrous things in your comments. Here's someone asked in your comments, or someone asked, what would how would you be able to effect change? I mean, Junior, look around us. Look at what is going on in Grenada. If Christopher Columbus came through St. Mark, you would recognize it. Look at the West Coast. Look at what's going on in Grenada. Look at the healthcare system in Grenada. We're sitting there bashing TGM as an organization that is barely off the ground. TGM was just planted. It's a seed that was just planted by the request of the people. And the people in the comments are sitting there bashing it. Yet they're saying, we need change. We need some fresh blood. We need some young people with vision and who can grasp what's going on around us in 2021. And yet for all, just a group of people put themselves up and say, okay, let's see what we can do to effect it. Let's see what we can do to change. The first thing we do is attack the character and try to diminish them and belittle them. Why are we like that? What are we doing? And we wonder why we end up with a such a risk in politics and people who we cannot hold accountable. Because the good people who are putting themselves out there and saying, let us see if we can do something to help build our country. They are attacked when they do so. What are we doing? What do we want? We're complaining about what is happening now. But others are saying, okay, if that is not working, let us see what else can work. And the first thing we do is attack character and attack persons and attack. So what if someone stood? I mean, one of the comments in your section, Patrick and Twine was hugging Keith Mitchell on stage. I stood with Keith Mitchell on stage in the biggest rally that ever hit Grenada. Beanie Man and whoever in FAR. What someone can change their mentality, someone can change if our missions and our visions don't align over the years, it is okay. It is okay to part ways. It is okay to move on from your relationship, from your job, from your career, from your politics. It is okay to move on. When are we going to start understanding that? Okay, Junior. I'm going back in the comments.
All
Bye.
right. Okay. Thanks, Janice, for your input there. It wasn't a question, but it was a comment, and she made some valid points, because oftentimes when you see people making or propose or putting themselves up to be a proponent of change, you always get that the first approach is always a very negative approach, and I see it all the time as well. But it's probably people feeling out the party, or the proposed party. Probably that's people's way of trying to see how tough TGM really is. Because some people, they break under pressure, and that's probably the people's approach to see how strong TGM could actually be for if it's a formidable opponent, because this is petty stuff. The chat room is petty stuff. When you walk into the arena, they take off the gloves. You talking about a politician who've been in this business for years. They know how to fight. So this is petty stuff. What you're seeing here is right along fans. They'll get at you. But the big fight is election and the campaigning for election. So don't feel away with the comments that you see here. I just think that that's people expressing themselves passionately.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And the thing is, people have been hurt. And I think the comments are in large measure based on people who have been hurt and disappointed. And that's why it's really difficult to convince people that there's an alternative now, finally, because of the disappointments over the years. I mean, that's why I sat back myself, because this is the first time I've never aligned myself in any political party as a politician. And I only align myself now, not because I'm interested in politics, because I'm interested in the country. And I'm not a politician. I don't mind being a leader, but certainly I don't want to be a politician. But that's the name given to this area of endeavor. So I guess that's why we use the word. But certainly I appreciate and understand people's viewpoints, because it's been a rough time in Grenada.
Yeah. Again, guys, we open up the phone lines. Chopper John West, how you doing, my brother? We're hanging out later. Open up the phone lines again, 718-701-5720. I want to ask you a question. I wish I could have asked that question to Dr. Patrick and Twine. It's kind of an elephant in the room, and I don't know how much input you have on this particular next question. Now, I was watching GBN last Monday, right? And I know there was some kind of representation. Someone was supposed to be there representing the party, but it was not held, because what the host said was that because there was a certain co-host that was there, and because the co-host had asked a question in previous broadcasts or what have you, that they declined from coming on the program. What is TGM view on dealing with media and press?
You got to have a free and responsible press. I mean, freedom of expression is absolutely core, and you got to have an active press. The problem right now, we don't have sufficient. The media is very important to democracy, and an independent media, and we've lost some of our independent media houses and avenues. And it's very difficult to have one's views expressed, and it's very difficult to challenge decisions, to debate government policies, debate what's happening in the country, because of the lack of access to independent media. And I think it is critical and essential to have an independent media. And I think and that's part of the constitutional right as well. So that's why I said at the beginning, we have to respect, and that's our platform, the Constitution, and make sure it's implemented in all its areas. Absolutely 100% for the media.
Right. So then, how do you explain TGM not appearing on a program because a certain media personality is as co-host? So how do you? That's contradictory.
I don't know. No. Well, I'm not sure why. I was supposed to be on the program. I was told not to go on the program, but I'm not sure why. Now, is a difference between having media and disagreeing, if that's what you're saying, with someone who's a host. That's quite a different point. But the freedom of expression evinced and exemplified through the media, whether it's the print media, whether it's through this medium which we're using, whether it's through other broadcast media, is essential.
Yeah,
and responsible media is also the other flip side of the coin, because one has a freedom. Freedoms are guaranteed by the Constitution are not absolute. They're all subject to qualification. So you can't say what you want about somebody. I have freedom of speech, but if I malign you and defame you, then I'll get sued and I have to pay you a lot of money, for example. Okay? So freedom to choose whether to go on a program doesn't mean the press doesn't enjoy its freedom. That means you've enjoyed your freedom of choice not to engage in a program. So it's quite a different issue.
Right. Yeah. Because I haven't had that problem with contacting members from TGM, NDC, NNP, whoever, to come on. I engage them. If they're available, they come. We talk. Right. I'm not politically aligned, whether it's TGM in power or NDC or NNP, doesn't really matter to me. And press freedom is very, very important to me, because I think that the press should be independent, and that right now the press is like the opposition. The press maintained as the strong opposition, even in cases of police brutality, as we saw just a few weeks ago. We had a young man on the program, and because it was so much pushed by the press to ensure that the police gets arrested, the police was arrested. And if you take away that freedom, then you just have anybody doing what politicians or police or whoever doing whatever they want to do, and they don't have that check, because they have a weak opposition. They don't have a strong press. And so I'm very, very, very passionate about having a very strong press, and I would encourage if TGM could also preach that and also enforce that in their mandate going forward.
Well, that's why I said the Constitution is primary, and that's part of it. Absolutely.
Yes. Let's take one more call. Open the phone lines again, 718-701-5720. We're talking here with my good friend, Mr. Jimmy Bristol. I'm telling you, Jimmy Bristol is so, he's always there to give advice. And I call this man for advice on a lot of legal matters. Sometimes I have an idea and I would call him and he would come on, he would talk. And, he's very straightforward. And that's why I can't see you as a politician. I don't see you as a politician.
Not a politician.
You are, you get things done, and you really, I don't see, but you put your hat in the ring, and you've been held to that decision. Let's jump on the calls again. We got one more call on the line, 718-701-5720. Caller, you're live. Where are you calling us from?
Good day. I'm based in the U.S.
Go ahead.
So this issue about this party not appearing in this program. So what? If a party doesn't want to appear on the program, it's their right. Right?
Sorry, caller. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
I was saying, if a party does not want to attend a program, they don't have to attend a program. So what? And this co-host, is this person a member of the media?
Yeah. Yeah, caller. I don't know. The caller dropped. Yeah, caller. You made a point that they have the option to attend or not attend. That's their choice. We got another caller line. Caller, where are you calling us from?
Yes, hello? I'm on?
Yes, you're on.
Yes, I'm calling from Florida. Well, I must say appreciate Mr. Bristol, Attorney Bristol, giving us an idea of what democracy looks like. And clearly it's based on the Constitution.
Yes.
And I love the idea that we have to realize that the press have to be unbiased. It's very important that the press is unbiased because it becomes one of the institutions that helps to support what the rights of everybody is.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't matter the color of the skin, it doesn't matter how much money they have or don't have, it doesn't matter the education and so forth. And that's really it's an institution that is vital to a country. As a matter of fact, what needs to be upheld is all the institutions that is put in place for that very reason, to be the check and balance. And it is a check and balances not only from the right, but also from, when taxes are collected, for example, from citizens, then that has to be, appropriated properly and not be abused or misused. So the institutions that are there to help that process, to ensure that citizens get as much out of what they're paying for. And one of the things I like to say for the I've been, paying attention a lot, is that I hope that they fully understand that a man or a woman's position to do good is always end up in a hardship and opposition. And I hope that the team don't allow, all of those things that have been said. Because one of the things I've observed in life is that the people who are coming out and criticize the most are the people who have not contributed very much. So I hope that TGM would focus on what needs to be done, because it's very clear that we need better in Grenada. Thanks for your contribution.
Thank you so much, caller, for your contribution. You care to add anything, Mr. Bristol?
Well, governance is not an easy thing, but governance is made easier by being truthful. Governance is made easier by being honest, by being caring, by having integrity. So you gain the confidence of the people. Governance is made easier by your actions and your deeds. That is what gives the people, or what would cause people to support you, generally speaking. We are new, so we haven't exhibited anything except to say what has historically been the basis of governance is not what we're about. And I can give that assurance, because that's not what I'm about. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I need good governance as much as anybody else. I have suffered in Grenada as much, or as much as everybody has their own individual experiences, but I have suffered as other people have suffered. So we're in the same boat, the Grenada boat. And we need to be able to take that Grenada boat and steer it properly. Make it a sound boat that won't sink at the slightest hint of a wave of a disaster. This is what we have to do, but we can only do it together. Yes, there'll be people who you can't please all the people all of the time. But the idea is to give due consideration, because no one can get everything in life that they want. It doesn't work like that. But due consideration is what's important. When I do a court case and I lose, once I've been given due consideration, I go, yeah, I've done my job. I'm not vexed with the judge. He's done his job, I've done my job, the other lawyers have done their job. That is due consideration. And that's all that can be offered by any given government to the people. But you must offer it. And that's what the TGM will do.
Absolutely. See if I could take this other call real quick. Caller, are you calling for the program?
No, Junior. I'll talk to you at another time. It's Amelia.
Okay, all right, cool. 717-015-720. We're talking here with Mr. Jimmy Bristol. So, Bristol, what's the TGM take on the 4%? Shifting gears a little bit, on the 4% that is due to teachers, what's the position of the party on that allocation?
Right. I can say I don't have, because we haven't discussed individual issues at this stage, but I can say for myself, and certainly a position which I would canvass, is that that's an obligation that's binding on the government and has to be honored. And the government has to work out a methodology by which and through which they can honor that obligation.
Okay.
Simple as that. Obligations are to be honored. If you don't honor obligations, how can we function? If I don't honor obligations to the next person and likewise them to me, the society will fall apart.
Right. Okay.
You know, we have obligations of myriad different types of obligations, but we all have our role to play. And you know, it's simple. I mean, I don't know why we seem to have such a difficulty in life with just doing what is right.
Let's take this next call on the line. Caller, where are you calling us from?
Calling from New York.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I just advise to Mr. Bristol. Mr. Bristol, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
So congratulations on the formation of your new party called the TGM. I heard of your guys are looking to run for election, but I think somehow my advice to you all is to keep abreast with what's going on in Grenada. You all speak, but it's a little bit non-current. So I want to hear more of what you all know what's going on now, because the people lack information, and that's what we need in order to decide in the next election forward. And can you tell us something about the other members who joined? Because I saw a few faces being advertised as potential candidates for the TGM. Can you tell us something about them? Because we look at people's track records to elect them most of the time. And this time around, I think it would be more on what you already done and what you can contribute to the Grenadian economy or the nation on a whole.
All right. Thank you, caller.
Okay, I can't tell you about that because we haven't got to that stage yet. The party has not been formed. The constitution is not in place, but I'm aware of the constitution in its draft form because I helped to draft it. And there's a candidate selection process, and they will be selected in due course. But when it's launched, there will be a lot more answers. What we're discussing now is what is the vision of TGM, why the transition from an NGO, and what, you know, certain matters that are not as detailed as what you expect. My apologies for that, but that's where we're at the moment because we haven't really established and launched as a political party and with all the members. I don't know. I'm sure 90% of the people involved. I'm getting to know more and more each day. So I apologize. So I can't shed much light on that.
So I guess the question that Rohan is posting as to hearing a little bit more about the health, agriculture, especially the industry, local government.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Well, I could talk about those things. First, about health. My son was born. I was living in Antigua and he came here to be born. The hospital was great. I had an accident. I almost lost my eye. I went to the eye unit. They did a magnificent job. But that was a long time ago. I really believe that there's certain key workers in Grenada whose jobs have to be given more respect than they are through the way they've been treated and the kind of salaries they earn. Teachers, doctors, nurses, healthcare workers have to be looked up to because they do such important jobs that underpin our society. The healthcare. We used to have health centers throughout the island. During the revolution, we had a great primary healthcare system. I'm not a doctor, but I understand from doctors in the past that that is the key, primary health care. So what about properly manned, properly constructed health centers throughout the communities with a resident doctor, resident nursing staff, so we have that first stop, first point of access, contact into the health system right in the communities. Then let's take it to the other level now, and we get to the general hospital. We really need a proper new greenfield general hospital. I knew years ago, it was the NDC time when I was Attorney General, and I think that's how I came to know it. There was a proposal from Canada Health, I think if I remember correctly, to set up the hospital here, and the government was simply, all the funding was in place. I think Canada Health was going to run it, and I don't know if it was a World Bank or an IFC project, but we were looking for a site and couldn't find one. Land is scarce, and then the government changed. That was put on the shelf by all accounts. And we need that. We need a proper hospital. We don't need to be able to do, in my view, brain transplants and heart transplants, but we need to be able to give a level of care that's accessible and affordable. We need that. And and we need also the nursing staff at the hospital to be respected, and their independence and appointments under the Constitution to be respected. And the standards and the nursing standards with the exams that are done with the Caribbean Nursing Association, I think it is, that you do these exams to be respected and not bring nurses in who aren't qualified and give them jobs because you want political, you want votes. We need to respect it. The reason why so many nurses have migrated over to Grenada is they're not being well paid and well treated. We educate them, and then we lose all of this, and we have a tremendous brain drain. So we've got to take care of the health system. In my view, we ought to have some sort of national health system where there's some contribution, and that could be easily set up. And we need to see the price of medicines reduced. I don't know, where I sit right now, whether medicines suffer any the imposition of any duties and taxes. But my view is medicines should be free. You know, why do we have to charge taxes and duties on medicines? These are essential to us and the health of our society. That's my view. I don't know if that will be implemented, but that's how I feel about it. So I feel very strongly about the health system. I've worked for and represented the nurses as a lawyer, and I know their problems, and I know what the system used to be like, and I know what it is like now, and we've got to put it back in place. Give these people control over the health service. Give the doctors and nurses control over the health service, and take the politics out of it. So that's health. Fisheries is another one. I know a lot of fishermen. I interact with a lot of them over the years. And we need proper facilities. Now, we shouldn't be accepting facilities from any given government just because they give it to us for a vote on the Whaling Commission or wherever it comes from. Get proper facilities. Get proper haul-out facilities so the boats can be, instead of lying around the side of the lagoon being repaired, you can go to a proper facility, right, where they're hauled out, you know, their berth, everything. Have them there. Have also control over who fishes in our waters. There are stories that I have heard from fishermen about foreign vessels coming in and fishing, foreign manned vessels fishing in our waters, and nothing seems to be done. I was in Goa last week, I think, meeting with some of my friends up there, some of whom are fishermen, and they're telling me the stories. The catches are down. They're not seeing the number of fish. Why? Well, because there are many massive fishing vessels and fleets fishing where we can't see them within our economic zone, which is 200 miles off the coast. And they're sucking up all the fish that they want, fish that they don't want, baby fish and everything else. And therefore the migratory patterns of the fish are being disrupted. So when the fishermen and go out to fish, they're not picking up the fish that they used to. These are things to be addressed. It's a serious matter.
Right.
Yeah, I feel for them.
You know, there are so many other things that I know that you said that, you know, in the formation and during the transitional period, it would be posted, it would be put out, because I'm seeing questions as relating to the NHI. I'm seeing questions as it relates to contractual employment. I'm not sure if you are in a position. So what kind of time frame is TGM taking to actually formulate all their thoughts and ideas and put out some type of literature that would speak on the position and all these topical issues?
As soon as this constitution is finished, I suppose to have a meeting later tonight to just tidy it up. And there's official launch, it'll be done. But I can give the assurance. I see a Cassandra Mitchell writing in contractual employment. I trust that means within the public service. That is the biggest breach of our constitution. One of the biggest breaches has ever happened. It is something that, for some reason, especially this administration, has sought to undermine the public service in the form envisaged by the Constitution. And that has to stop. I've been trying to stop it, but you know, I can't get the help. Neither can the Public Workers Union, because people are scared to come forward who have the contracts, because we need a sample contract to take it to court, and we just can't do it because they're scared they'll lose their jobs. It is wrong to put public officers under fear for their jobs because they don't support a political party. The Constitution is constructed in such a manner that the public service is independent and free from the influence of the executive. But that doesn't happen now because people are being employed on contract.
Right. You know, let's kind of end where we started, right, on this discussion here. So is TGM ready for prime time?
Yes. Yes, it is. Indeed, it is.
If election is called and, you know, the present prime minister have a way of not actually going out these full 5 terms. So if election is called within the next year or so, is TGM position to take its place?
Yeah, absolutely. If it's called tomorrow, no. But if it's called in a year's time, sure, absolutely. They would have. Okay. They'll have their full slate of candidates. They'll have a up and running party with a manifesto. They'll have all the things that you asked, and people have been asking, like, show us the money. So if I could use that expression, and try to do our best. But just like to stress, it's not a one-way street. This is not about imposing in the old-fashioned way rule from above. This is being servants to the people, to work with them, to be accountable to them. That's the new governance that we see.
Okay. We take this last call to wrap it up, and then we're going to end this. This is the final call. Caller, you live. You're the final caller for the night. What's your question or your point?
Hey, Junior.
Hey, go ahead, caller. The final caller for the night.
Yes, I'm calling in concern with well, I tell you the truth. I look forward to good governance in Canada, and a lot of the things I see Mr. Bristol talking about, he's speaking the truth.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller.
And I what I am saying is that a lot of the influences that what Mr. Bristol is saying is that we take it back to the revolution in terms of the healthcare system and everything.
Yes. Caller, I want you to turn on your background, but you good point. Thank you so much for calling. Thanks for your input on the topic. Okay, I appreciate you.
And I like that. You know, honesty is important.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, caller. We appreciate you. All right, Mr. Bristol, thanks for sitting with us in the hot seat.
It's been a bit hot. I mean, this is my first foray into this stuff, so for me, it's been a bit hot because it's the first time. But it's good. It's good to be bedded in slowly, and just it's par for the course, I guess.
Yeah, but this is going to get worse.
I'm absolutely sure, But Junior, thanks a lot. Thanks to everybody who called in and who messaged in. And I'm sorry I couldn't answer all the messages were going along. And I appreciate every comment because I know when people are hurting, they want to talk. And I will listen. We will listen. Don't worry about it. That's guaranteed.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. God bless. All the best. Enjoy Jamaica. Eat a
Also,
chicken for me.
Yeah. We also want to invite the chairman, Mr. Patrick Antoine. This is an open forum to anyone who wants to come in and sit right here. We got a lot of questions that come in that wants to be directed to him. So hopefully we could get him on the program as well, including not that we don't like your company. We love your company. But there's a lot of questions that is specific that people want answers from him, and hopefully he could come and address it very
That's
soon.
fair enough. I mean, he's the leader, so that's fair enough.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll keep in touch.
Good night. Good night, everybody. Thank you very much. Cheerio.
Right. Yeah, that was Mr. Jimmy Bristol on the live. Ah, boy. That's why I could never. That's why I don't want to be a politician and all, yeah. That's why I don't want to be a politician and all, yeah. I stay right in my lane. I stay in my lane. Ah, boy. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Again, we're taking this live from beautiful Jamaica. Let me show you guys a quick view of where I'm at right now. Let me show you guys a quick view of where I'm at right now. I'm at this really nice hotel. And the service here is exceptional, by the way. Let me see if I could pull up this on the screen to show you guys really quick what my vantage view looking like right now. So this is right now outside. This is a pool area. It's an extended pool area. And it's just so beautiful here in Jamaica, man. I just came in earlier today and I already love the vibe. Have so much to do. This is a workation, by the way. This is in no way vacation. All right, this is a workation. So if you see me in the pool taking a dive, taking a dip, swimming around, having some fun, I might look as if I'm having fun, but it's really work. It is really work. All right, Jamaica is really, really, really nice, guys. And I'm saying Jamaica is nice. I'm not saying that any other country is not nice, by the way. Jamaica is beautiful. It is awesome. All right. And after here, I'm hoping to hopefully take a trip down to Grenada, my Spice Island. And we can end it off if we end past through St. Vincent. We have a little thing. We're trying to hit the spots. And I had the rum punch, Chopper John West. I had the rum punch. Oh my OMG Chopper, OMG Chopper. Tell him take it easy on that rum punch, man. Too much. Tell them take it easy on me. I'm not a drinker like that. They say, here's a complimentary rum punch. I'm like, okay, good. I'll take the complimentary rum punch. And they gave me that rum punch, boy. Woy. That's why I was about a couple minutes early, because I said, if I just go and lay my head on that pillow, I ain't getting up. It was a rum punch. It was a rum punch. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program today. For the rest of the week, we're gonna be broadcasting live from Jamaica, covering various things that's happening. And I see the jerk chicken is about to go on. Let me show you guys live footage. I'm not going to show you live footage. I ain't going to show you live footage because I know Lynn go feel away. So Lynn, Again, this is not vacation, guys. This is workation. This is ridecation, right? This is ridecation. Oh Lord, you see, everybody taking vacation. Deanne, this is not a vacation. What are you talking about? I'm not on a vacation here. It's not vacation. It's workation.
You gotta be
All right, guys, peace out. Catch you tomorrow. Chopper John West. Check me, Chopper John West. We have to make a little hangout later. Check me. All right. Catch you guys again tomorrow. Peace out. Bye bye.
And I'm a firm believer. We'll forever shine, just to stay alive. That simply means that nobody can hold me apart. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can tell me sick. I will let alone negativity. Nobody can hold me apart. Nobody can drain my energy. Nobody can.
David Williams Funeral Service serve you with dignity and compassion as you mourn. Every day, we embark on the journey of life, and one day, the journey will end. It's on that day that you can entrust the celebration of life of your loved ones to David Williams Funeral Service. Call 718-291-3823.
My name is Hollis Map, aka Mr. Killer. Why should I drink any other rum than Clark's Court rum? When Clark's Court is the rum that supports my community, my culture, my country. A long time ago, my ancestors used to work in the cane fields. Today, we own the rum, Clark's Court rum, Grenada's #1 rum. But my people, if you drink, don't drive. When you drink responsibly. And if you're under 18, don't drink at all. Clark's Court rum, Grenada's #1 rum.
Welcome to TD Bank, where you'll find the personalized attention you deserve and the legendary experience you expect. Let's do business. If you are a medical or dental practitioner, contact me to hear about our tailored lending solutions for residential mortgages, equipment purchases, practice-related commercial mortgages and refinance. Visit me at 500 Baychester Avenue to hear more about our full range of personal and small business banking solutions. See you soon.
Are you fed up of your mask or your foggy face shield? Introducing the Fashion Shield from callallpronow.com. Keep your hairdo intact, your makeup flawless, and be fully protected. Get the Fashion Shield now. Call 516-387-4246 or visit callallpronow.com.
Feeling hungry, grab a snack. Caribbean food delight. Jamaican patties, slide and flaky. Caribbean food delight. Taste the difference. Caribbean food delight. Grab a patty, take a bite. Caribbean food delight. Quick and easy, grab a patty, take a bite. Caribbean food delight.
Oh yeah. We are survivors. We will survive. We will survive. We are firm believers. We'll forever strive just to stay alive. That simple means say nobody can hold we. Nobody can drain our energy. Nobody control we. We will not allow negativity. Nobody can hold we. Nobody can drain our energy. Nobody can. Nobody can. Yo! Ride along the strength. No weakness. Show we a lion power. Yo, ride along, Junior. Go on, my brother. Enough love. Enough honor, enough manners. Blessings. You understand? What you're doing for the music and for the people. Continue doing the thing here, my brother. One love. One Caribbean, one people, one nation. You understand? Blessed love. Much appreciated. Yeah? When that's a pharaoh. Oh. Everything I fumble. Everybody show me some strength.